Alright, what's happening, guys? Trey back again here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about The Walking Dead comic book and TV show. A character from the comic book that has not been introduced to the TV show so far. Even pretty much what ended up happening was they ended up passing his storyline in favor of just going straight to the farm. And this character is introduced in trade paperback number two, which looks like this, nice and blue, and you can see the winter here, called Miles Behind Us. And about issue 8, roughly 7 or 8, actually maybe in issue 7, this character's introduced. His name is Tyreese. So I'm calling this video, Who is Tyreese? And that's him right there. That's what he looks like. You can see there he's got, oh, wrong way. So that's Tyreese. This is where he meets Rick and the group. There is his daughter to his left, and her boyfriend also there, the nerdy guy with the glasses. I believe his name is Chris. I forget his daughter's name. So Tyreese is a very, very cool and interesting character. One of the best characters in The Walking Dead overall. He pretty much, in terms of the television show, he sort of is like, he fulfills the role of Shane as Rick's sort of number 2 guy. Being as he's so big, he's a really big guy. He's an ex NFL linebacker, I believe, or football player of some kind. And he's extremely tough. Got himself hurt, so he couldn't play anymore. But he's huge, obviously, big guy, extremely tough. Helps Rick out on a number of occasions. For example, I'll look one up in this book here. And he is a very prominent character in the book. He's a main character. He's like Shane, so to speak. Or actually, in the comic book, he has a way bigger role than Shane. I mean, way bigger. I'm looking for a specific scene right here I want to show you guys. It's a very cool scene where they go to a town called Wilshire Estates. And it's basically a gated community where they stay in before they go to the farm in the comic book. And it's like rich houses, like huge houses and stuff, and really nice. Yeah, here's a scene I wanted to show you guys. So what ends up happening is inside one of the houses, Rick goes into one of the houses, and as you can see here, 2 big fat walkers, or one big fat one another one, jump Rick like that inside the house, and he kind of gets himself into some trouble. He falls down, and as you can see over to there, he is having some trouble. Dale is not able to get a shot, but he puts his head up, but he doesn't want to shoot Rick in the hand and that kind of stuff. And then the next page, we get to see, here comes Tyreese with a nice shoulder into the thing, and at the top panel there, knocks it down, takes it down, and then uses his hammer at the bottom, you can see it, to hammer the thing as well as Rick doing it. So there he is there on top of the zombie in a ground and pound type position. So that is pretty much the introduction to Tyreese in the comic book. He is an awesome character. He's around for a long time. I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but he has way more time in the comic book than Shane does, and he is a very interesting character. He pretty much later on, when Rick is at the prison in the comic book, this will contain minor comic book spoilers. I'll keep it to a minimum, though, for those of you guys who haven't read that far in the comic book yet, but I'm not going to spoil anything too big. There is a point in the comic book where something happens between his daughter, Tyrese's daughter, and the boy that she's with, her boyfriend, so to speak. Her boyfriend is the one with the glasses, and he is like a very nerdy and kind of like a negative type guy. And the boy tries to convince her to do some kind of like suicide pact to get out of it, you know, type thing. And something ends up happening, and Tyreese flips a lid, and it's really cool. He ends up strangling this kid to death for what happens with the situation. Read it if you want to see the whole thing, but yeah, I mean, it's very exciting. So obviously in Tyrese's group, there's only 3 characters as they meet up and they join Rick's group. And he sort of becomes Rick's number 2 guy. In the TV show, we have Daryl, so Daryl sort of fulfills that role, as well as T-Dog. You could look at Tyreese as a combination of like Daryl and T-Dog. You know, he's Rick's number 2 guy. He's tough as nails, like Daryl, and well, maybe I shouldn't look at it that way. I don't think that's fair, because T-Dog, we don't really know much about T-Dog at this point. We know he wants to leave, and he's really fond of running away. So I can't really say that Tyreese is a combination of the two. He's a lot like Daryl, so to speak, just that he's different in the ways that he's way bigger, and he uses a hammer. He uses the end of a hammer to kill zombies, to kill walkers. So a very, very intriguing, interesting character, very cool. Later on in the story, we get to see some really interesting scenes between him and Rick. People in the group start questioning Rick's leadership, and they basically form, instead of just having Rick be the leader, they decide to form a democracy because people are just have sort of lost hope and lost faith in Rick and his decisions and what he's doing. And Tyreese is one of the members of this committee they form, instead of just having one leader. So form like more like of a democracy with a committee of people. So he is really high up there in the group. He does have a lot of attention in the book. He's got a lot of badass moments where there's a scene where he gets really upset about something that happens, and he clears out like a whole room of walkers by himself. Just him and his hammer just beats the snot out of all of them. And they think he's all dead, but he ends up surviving it and getting out of there and clearing out the whole room full of walkers. So a very, very cool character, very interesting character. When will he be introduced into the TV show, and how will he be? Right now, Glenn Mazzara, the producer, has said they're not looking at it right now. So what does that mean? Well, it probably means definitely not in the first half of season 3. Maybe in the second half of season 3, like maybe around like the finale type time, or maybe season 4. I would probably bank on Tyreese being introduced in season 4, because the route they're going with the television series, it seems like they don't know how long the television series is going to go on for. So if they have to decide between someone like Tyreese and the governor, they're going to go for the governor right away. I think the governor will probably be around for a couple seasons of the television show too. I don't think they're just going to bring him in, have one season with him, and then that's it. No, I think he'll be here for around, I'd say 3 or 4 seasons. I think the governor will be around for. Maybe 2, because if they're doing 16 episodes, that's a lot of episodes. Quite a few. Unless they put in some crappy filler episodes, which I don't like very much. So when will Tyreese be in the show? I predict season 4 at some point, or season finale time, season 3. Probably season 4, I'd say. Can't wait to see the character in the show. I think that he provides some really interesting intergroup dynamics that we kind of see disappear with Shane leaving. Everybody else is really supportive of Rick. Dale's gone, so he's not there. Like in the comic books, Dale, after a while, stops believing in Rick and doesn't really, and wants to form this committee instead of just having Rick lead the charge. Tyreese is for that, so he creates that inner dynamic between Rick and some of the other characters of the group, because he is physically, between him and Rick, they are, in a fight, they're pretty well equal. They're pretty much each other's equal, and there's a point in the comic book where they actually throw down and they fight, and it's pretty impressive, which you could say sort of maybe was the inspiration for the fight between Shane and Rick at the human. Wait, no, what was it? Was it like the water plant or whatever it was, or school or wherever they fought at in Miles Behind Us, episode 10? Was it 10? I can't remember now. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, the point in season 2 where Shane and Rick fight, that fight scene is very reminiscent and similar to the fight scene in the comic book between Tyreese and Rick, sort of fighting for leadership of the group, and also because of the, just the decisions and everything that's going on. So a very interesting character. Can't wait to see him in the TV show. Very excited for it in season 4, probably when they eventually get around to it. Yeah, so hopefully that gives you guys some background on this character. And feel free to read the comic book. He's around for a long time in the comic book, and he is a very prominent character and a very interesting character. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. Later. Peace.